My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is January 26, 2023. It is 3:28 a.m. So I started a little bit late in terms of recording, but I was finishing up some old videos that I was editing, so I wanted them to get out the way first. So one thing I just realized, what was it? This video. You see, I have two of them here, and one of them is unlisted and one is scheduled already. So the one that's unlisted, originally it had a video that had one of Princess Diana's butler talking about the ring, how Harry got the ring, and then how Harry gave the ring to William and whatever. So I put the video in. YouTube flagged it because the video and the audio, right? So something tells me that remove, originally I cut the part out, the one that YouTube flagged. Then before I started editing my video, something tells me keep the audio and put a picture instead of the video where the guy is talking. You see his mouth moving, saying the words and all of that. So I decided to remove the video and kept the audio and took an image of the guy as the audio is playing. And I redid the video and uploaded it. YouTube then flagged it. So it seems like all I have to do now is keep the audio and put images instead of the, I don't know. Okay, if you guys knew that way before, I just realized that just today. Okay, so anyway, this is minor. New subscribers, welcome. I have another channel, Pt1. This is my backup. Something is going on with my main channel, so I'm here uploading. So there's a lot to talk about. Let's go on Twitter. Now, this article, I posted it on my community board. By now, some of you probably already read it, and I will also put the link of it in this video so you could check it out just in case you haven't seen it. It's pretty much things that we're already aware of. It's just that now a US journalist wrote about it, so it's nothing new. Once you read it, you'll see like as if you've seen these things already. It's just that now a US journalist put the things on one article. So for the mainstream, I will not say mainstream, yeah, maybe mainstream, but people who were not paying attention of the royal family and things that Meghan was going through and stuff like that, so American will know. That journalist pretty much sums up everything the squad already knew. Okay, so if you read it, you'll not be surprised by it at all, because majority of the things that I've said in this video and clips that I've shared with you where Dan Wotless said the leaks are coming from the royal family, all of this, she put that in there. Okay, so like I said, the link will be in the description. So I'm just gonna focus on the tweet and some of the comments, not all. Okay, so let's get started. An opinion, quote, people like me, uninterested in celebrities, shouldn't dismiss the brouhaha around Harry's memoir as mere celebrity tittle tattle, end quote. Zeynep, I'm sorry if I pronounce this name wrong, Zeynep Tufki, right? Okay, so that's the journalist, I guess. Okay, so now there's the comment. Okay, about time. This investigative piece by New York Times calls spade a spade. Without a doubt, Prince Harry is right, and so is Meghan Markle. They are breaking stigma, bullying, abuse to instill accountability. Bravo. All right, there's hashtag here. great receipt on how the, quote, never explain, never complain, end quote, royal model was forgotten when Prince William or Kate had mildly negative articles written about them, yet nothing was done by the palace against daily false, misogynistic, and racist articles about Meghan. There's the angry face. So let's read this. Harry has said that he pleaded with his family to publicly condemn this ugly campaign. This is when Harry didn't know the family was part of the issue that he was going through. Okay, but instead, Harry says in his book, quote, Spare, end quote, the couple were ordered to remain silent even against outright lies. Quote, never complain, never explain, end quote, was the royal motto. But the royal family isn't always so complacent. When a plastic surgeon claimed on his Instagram account that Harry's sister-in-law Kate was receiving Botox, Kensington Palace officials issued an official condemnation and denial. They reportedly got at least one tabloid to take down a story claiming Kate was wearing hair extensions. William and Kate issued a strong statement and threatened legal action against the magazine Tatler after it called Kate perilously thin. Swath or passages the palace had reportedly objected to were deleted from the story. Even less prominent members were explicit protection once the palace defended Charles' brother Prince Edward's use of a private jet instead of an available train. Harry has claimed that while the royal family stayed silent about the media abuse of his wife behind the scene, it leaked, planted, or influenced stories with the worst element of the royal order, representative of news organization that covered the palace, and a preferential press war in return for favorable coverage for themselves or distraction from their own brewing scandals. After telling only his immediate family about plans he and Meghan were making to travel or distance themselves from royal duties, Harry said in Spare, those plans appear in the tabloid attributed to unnamed sources. Okay, so that was from there. Let's see here. Camilla and William, close link to Lebedev. Okay, I can pronounce this. Who is that? Okay, and Jody Greg Lebedev is the owner of The Independent. Jody is a close friend of Camilla and Ghislaine Maxwell. My goodness. Summit to discuss Russian sanctions. Johnson left it, skipped his security detail, and flew to Italy, where he met an ex-KGB officer whose son he later enabled. I'm not gonna say anything about this. Okay, there's this. My goodness. Jody Gregg, appointed editor-in-chief of The Independent. There's that. Former Daily Mail editor Jody Gregg has been appointed editor-in-chief of The Independent. Mr. Gregg joined the online-only newspaper of rich Russian businessmen in London. I don't know. I do not know. Let me zip my mouth. Okay, let's read some more. This particular article, I've read it in one of my videos already. Okay, thank you. Excellent article. More exposure is needed on the toxic and symbiotic relationship between the British press and the royal family, using racism, misogyny, xenophobia, and classism to build up the family just to tear someone down is abhorrent. Okay, Robert Maxwell, daughter to Ghislaine Maxwell, former owner of the Mirror, was often entertained by Prince Charles. Okay, hence the terrible abuse from the media toward Princess Diana. They are dangerous. All right, who is that? There's a kid here, so they blocked it. All right, there's this. Charles entertained Rupert Murdoch, chief editor at Clarence House. My goodness. The thing is that this is the thing. They could not get Harry on this thing. Those people who are backstabbers, they appear in front of you smiling, let you hear everything you want to hear, but they are doing damages. Okay, they give those royals the thing that they want to hear, the clapping, the smiling, they dine you, they do all of this, but the main thing to destroy the country, they'll do it in a heartbeat. But the royal family don't care as long as they get their clap, bags of money, you name it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there's this. I was with Charles on his last working day as Prince of Wales. He hosted me with typical generosity. When Charles accepted £1 million from Osama bin Laden's family report. Okay, if you've been following my channels, you should know about that already. Okay, well done, Zainab. Great article, great research. Call them all out. The royals, the palace, the royal reporters, most of the British media. This can't go on. Finally, someone has actually taken their time to explore royal reporting and got the narrative right. Thank you. So refreshing. All right, so there's that. After this, that's it. Okay, great article. These are the squaddies. Great articles, and it isn't just about the leaking and planting of stories. There is the criminality of hacking phones and cash for access briefing involving royal correspondents who are often quoted and appear on American media. It is truly rotten. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. It also involved with the New York Times article, so more people are talking about it. Okay, so the reason I sort of like the fact that New York Times is reporting it, and I think she pretty much sums up everything that was going on since Meghan was over there, because more eyes, because a lot of people in the US read the New York Times. Okay, so more eyes is exposed to what's going on, and it sort of back up Harry's book in a way, in a sense. Okay, next tweet. The way the New York Times article on the British media used their own quotes against them, this is what I was saying. They use everything, some of the things that I've shared where Dan Wotless says the royal family are the one leaking to the press, all of that. She put that in that particular article. Okay. The way that New York Times article on the British media used their own quotes against them, brilliant. They all at some point admitted the royal family were leaking stories about Harry and Meghan to them, and then tried to gaslight everyone and claim Harry was lying. Okay. You know, the best thing about the article, the Daily Mail has been quiet since it dropped. Usually they go after the New York Times when they write about the royal family. Quote, woke New York Times launches scathing attack on the royal family, end quote. But this article was so masterfully done, they can even rebuke the article because they quoted them. Okay, they quoted them at their own words, so they can't even say anything. Okay, if they actually go after New York Times, then they're gonna have to explain the quotes some of them have said. Okay, I bet the UK press will regret attracting the attention of the US press. Prince Harry is right. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. Again, it has to do with the New York Times article. There's that. Let's see here. I will remind Dan Wotless of his previous remarks blaming the royals and their staff for the leaks, but he blacked me ages ago. This New York Times column by Zeynep Tukfek, oh my god, I can't pronounce it, Tukfeksi, is an absolute keeper. Let the detractors try and argue against it. Right, is that the one that I read? Okay, I'll come. Okay, so she retweeted something, so let's go into it. There's no comment under her retweet, so I'm done with her. Now I'm going to the tweet that she retweeted. Let's see, is there comments? Yeah, there are some comments, and this is the article which I first shared with you at the beginning of this video. Alright, so let's read this. And exposing royal reporter Nat Omid, by the way, who have now changed their minds about how much leaking and planting happened at the palace against Harry and Meghan. Okay, so this that's a freaking long thread. Okay, she started up here, but this is the one that she bookmarked. Let's see. Among those in attendance at the Christmas lunch in mid-December were Camilla, Britain's Queen's Consort, Dame Judi Dench, Dame Maggie Smith, and some less luminous celebrities, including the acid tongue columnist Jeremy Clarkson and the broadcaster and columnist Piers Morgan. I have a screenshot of, I think, Daily Mail or The Sun, one of those UK papers who reported it when it was happening. I have a screenshot of that. Okay, both Clarkson and Morgan have been among the foremost participants in the multi-year media evisceration of Camilla and King Charles' daughter-in-law, Meghan. Clarkson has prior ties to Camilla. His farm was featured in an edition of Country Life magazine that she guest edited. Just days after that Christmas lunch, he blasted Meghan when he wrote, my goodness, when he wrote in his column in The Sun, quote, "At night," okay, this part I really hate reading it. It's right here. Okay, it's the end of this paragraph. I'm gonna skip it because it's very disgusting. Okay, the palace made no comment about that. Clarkson publicly apologized for the column after a fierce public outcry. As for Morgan, he has called Camilla, quote, "a class act," end quote, more than a decade ago, when many in Britain were still resistant to her becoming a queen consort due to her adulterous affair with Charles. Morgan wrote in his Daily Mail column that, quote, "I can't actually think of a single other woman in the world better suited or more suitably, my goodness, experienced," end quote, "to be queen." All right, let's read some of the comment. Okay, an exposing royal reporter, not Omid. Okay, so this one I read that. Okay, so there's the New York Times. Okay, thank you for the gift link. I appreciate that. Harry and Meghan defenders here on Twitter have been posting the receipt you included in your piece for years now. It's great to read such a well-researched piece written by a neutral journalist. Well done and thank you. All right, she's responding to the New York Times. Okay, thank you for gifting this article. It is a compelling read, and I'm glad they put it out there now after Harry's book, because it sort of back up what Harry has been saying. As a matter of fact, when you read the article, it's more damaging than Harry's book. All right, it just makes sense that back up Harry's things. Okay, thank you for gifting this article. There's the thumbs up. Okay, but they're here showing the yawning. I'm so over the royal family. They're so toxic. Okay, I hope Omid revisit this claim. After reading Spare, it's becoming clear that William was briefing about Harry's mental health, especially around October 2019. The thing is that they were trying to frame Harry to be almost the same thing as Princess Diana. Okay, the same pattern that was going with Princess Diana, they started it and Harry put a stop to it and he had to get out of there. Okay, they were trying to do the same playbook. They started little at a time saying he's crazy, he's this, he's that, and then Harry saw it and then put a stop. But when you think about it, if those royal family think everybody else, where the world seems to adore those people that they're claiming are crazy, okay, like Princess Diana, there's Harry and all of that, maybe the royal family should look in the mirror. They're the one who has issues. Okay, but they refuse to look at it. They think they're perfect. All right, so this thing here, another journalist, Omid Scobie, claimed in an interview for an ITV documentary in 2021 that William was planting stories about his brother's mental health in the press. The station reportedly received a legal threat from William. So much for the policy of silence and Scobie's statement from the show. I don't know. If you think you have it, I don't know. All right, William's fear for trouble, Harry. There's that. Yep, they started calling him crazy. Yep, so they had a plan for Harry. But William had issues with Harry since they were kids. Will's my fear for fragile Harry. There it is. They started their nothing, their craziness. Jesus Christ. Worry after TV interview. All baggage for God. Okay, again, provide proof. All right, so let's go to the next tweet, and it also deals with the New York Times. Okay, there's this. 2005, Camilla thought that Diana was the ideal girl. Ideal for, quote, aggressive, end quote, Camilla's ambition to maintain her clandestine relationship with Charles. She thought Diana looked pretty, will produce lovely children, and Camilla could control her. What in the F? What does Camilla think of herself? She wants to control her. So which means now she's probably controlling the palace, in my humble opinion. Jeez, but let's read. Okay, news. That's from the US. That's like a, what is it, NBC logo here. When was that? April 8, 2005. Okay. The reality tale of Charles and Camilla. It takes 35 years for the Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles to reach their wedding day, a day some say has been under a bit of a dark cloud. Okay, back in April 8, 2005. Okay, there's someone here, Cobb. Quote, so you think it was just love, instantly just like that between Charles and Camilla? Chris Wilson. Quote, it was sex, instantly. Most of his other relationship with other women didn't have that sort of potential thrill. Cut. Quote, why on earth then those two just go ahead and get married in the first place? Chris Wilson. Okay, quote, first, she wasn't a virgin, and back in the early 1970s, weird as it seems, we wanted to have a princess of Wales who'd never been in bed with anybody else, end quote. Yeah, so they use Princess Diana. This is sad. Okay, let me not go there. Okay, if that was indeed the arrangement, it might all have changed in 1980 when Charles started dating Diana. But even then, and since Christopher Wilson, Charles and Camilla were laying the groundwork to continue seeing each other. Cut. Quote, so they were planning to carry on their relationship after Diana. That was there from the beginning. Wow. Wilson. Quote, think actually it was Camilla's ambition to carry on the relationship. Cut. She sounds like she's aggressive. Chris Wilson. Oh yes, ambitious. Absolutely. 10 years after Camilla first approached Charles in 1980, she came face to face with Charles' new girlfriend, Lady Diana Spencer. My goodness. Wilson, she thought that this was the ideal girl, ideal for Camilla's ambition to maintain her clandestine relationship with Charles, says writer and royal family critic Christopher Wilson. But he doesn't stop there. He claimed Camilla actually vetted Diana, who was one in a string of the prince's girlfriend. Chris Wilson, quote, Camilla helped a huge amount in trying to sift through this girl to see who will make a useful wife for him. Let's just say, at least she had good eye, because Princess Diana was pretty good at the job. But the thing is that for not telling Princess Diana the truth from the beginning, this is what always get me. Who knows, maybe, I don't think Diana will agree, but if, I'm sure they could have found someone. There's always, if you think of it, it exists. Okay, I always think of that. If you think of something, it exists somewhere. You just have to find it. If they had thought of approaching Diana and told her the truth from the beginning, and if Diana says no, then move up, find someone else. I'm sure eventually you'll find someone who's willing to do that. But the thing is that they lie to Princess Diana, they manipulate her, and then once they're done with her, they discarded her, and look where she's at now. My goodness. Cut. Quote, so what did Camilla think of Diana? Okay, Wilson. Quote, she looked pretty, she will produce lovely children, and Camilla could control her. My God. And I think this is what she's doing now. Control her. What in the name is this? Control Princess Diana. My God. Okay, Kat, Diana was pliable, and that's why Camilla liked her. Alright, Chris Wilson, Camilla thought that Diana was a mouse and she got it wrong. Yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right. The quiet one are the most dangerous one, because they never really show their full potential, what they could do when they are upset. These are the people you have to be careful with. The ones who's always show you they're angry, they this, then that, at least you could maneuver yourself around them. But the one who's always quiet, look at Harry. Since he was a child, he keep on absorb. When it's time to go, look at now, everybody's scared. They don't even know what he's gonna do. All right, let's see here. Okay, a soft touch, she could manipulate. Me thinks, what a slapper. All right, let's go to the next tweet, and I put as a keynote here Docu Netflix. Let's see here. All right, so let's see here. Just love seeing the way the royal family have lost all credibility with the American media and public, that companies, people now feel emboldened to call them out on their crap. Days of reverence is gone. Sussex tried, spared by Prince Harry, abolished the monarchy, racist royal family. Okay, there's one comment. Let's read this. Though she wasn't a royal watcher, Garbus says that making the documentary was at times a surreal immersion exercise into the alleged palace mind games Harry and Meghan described to her. Quote, for instance, Buckingham Palace said that we didn't reach out for comment on the docuseries when we did. Okay, says Garbus, quote, they did that to discredit us, and by discrediting us, they can discredit the content of the show. We lived through some of those moments that were a little bit like Alice through the looking glass, end quote. Another. So there was an article. I think I tried to read it, but I didn't have access. I will have to sign to read it, but I didn't want to sign it because this is not a article, a paper that I read often. Maybe this is where this came from. That was talking about what was happening regarding the docuseries and what is it? The palace claimed that they didn't ask them question, and she came back and said, yes, we did. You just decided not to respond. Okay, there's one comment. The incident that Harry and Meghan have chosen to share seems fantastical to some folks because they believe that the royal family is better than that due to their PR. That's why gaslighting is so effective. It relies on the perceived good character or will of the perpetrator. So that's it with this. Let's go to the next one. I see I have Spare as a keynote. Side note, okay? The reality is a lot of the stories Prince Harry shares in Spare are already in the public domain. The only difference is that they were leaked by a royal insider, close friend, courtier, palace source. There were 3 people there, Charles, William, and Harry, who told Robert Lacey. Okay, let's see this one here. That's it's smaller than the original. Okay, William Harry, who started quarreling at Prince Philip's funeral, according to a royal historian. Okay, William and Harry were at each other's throat at Prince Philip's funeral, claimed author. Okay, I know definitely it's not Harry who went and said that. One of the other 2 must have said it. Okay, author Robert Lacey claimed he was told that the brothers were at each other's throat once they were out of sight of the cameras. Okay, so that was June 29, 2021. Okay, Princes William and Harry, quote, started quarreling at Prince Philip's funeral once they were back inside Windsor Castle, a royal author has claimed. It has been hoped that the feuding brothers will reconcile after Harry returned to the UK for the ceremony to honor their grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh, in April. After the service, the pair were seen in conversation after suddenly being brought together by Kate Middleton. Yeah, I remember that nonsense. But according to Robert Lacey, author of the book Battle of Brothers, they were unable to start repairing their relationship and began to argue as soon as they were away from TV cameras. Yeah, I could see who started it, because Harry, William wants to control Harry. If Harry doesn't do what William says, he get pissed off. So yeah, and Harry has his own life now. He has kids. He wants to make sure his kids get good example. But anyway, Robert Lacey was giving access to Prince William's staff and friends to write his book trashing Harry and Meghan, but over in the UK they call it dignified silence. Spare. Okay, I wonder if this is one of the confrontation Harry decided to leave out. Probably. Let's see here. Okay, when Meghan was asked to appear on the front cover of Vogue magazine, just as the Duchess of Cambridge and Princess Diana have done, she was touched by the offer but had another idea. Rather than just agreeing to a photo shoot, she asked if she could guest edit. Oh, okay, maybe this is another part. If this is from Spare, I must have slept through that part. Okay, so I didn't know about that. Okay, this is why I'm starting to listen to it again. Okay, and spent months working with the team to create her Forces of Change edition. But Lacey claimed the royals weren't best pleased with the content, much of it far from impartial, and William and Harry had a showdown when they tried to discuss it. Oh fuck, this guy wants to control everything. Just because Princess Diana did it, Catherine did it, and all of that, and Meghan said, no, I want to guest edit instead. And then this is why they were saying, I think at that time there were this nonsense going on that Royal don't guest edit and all of that, and right after that you start seeing other people doing it. And I think Charles or one of the Royals have done it prior. But I think this was the Vogue magazine that it broke some sort of a record. Okay, I think most sold or something like that. All right. But anyway, let's get back to that. He claims that nobody knows exactly what happened, but described it as another classic Harry explosion followed by a further even deeper rift. He also suggests that after their firm words, Harry and Meghan decided not to join the Cambridges and the rest of the royal family for their annual summer holiday to Balmoral. I don't blame them. If every time you meet with them it's negative, it's screaming, is that, why bother being in that space with these people? Because they're gonna try to find a problem to start another argument. So I don't blame them one bit. There's 5 comments under it. Let's see what they say here. Okay, classic Harry explosion. Laughing my ass off. They write every other day about William's temper. They really try to get away with this, Jesus. Okay, I have a copy of this record, Breaking Vogue. That's the thing I was talking about. Baldy has always been super jealous of Harry. OMG. Okay, that was the best issue of Vogue magazine ever. So interesting. I still have my copy. That issue was hard to find, and some magazine shop were selling it for as much as $45. What? $45? Another classic Harry explosion. Seriously? We all know about William's explosive temper, so we know exactly who went mad. Okay, and God don't blame Harry and Meghan for not wanting to go to Balmoral. That's what I'm saying. Okay, they've been treated horribly, so why would anyone want to put themselves through that? That's right. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. They will find something. Look at it. When I think they went to William's apartment and thinking things is gonna be settled, they talked about it, but instead the other one claimed she was mad, disrespected by freaking baby brain nonsense, and the other one start pointing finger. These people looking for every possible things to criticize and to start an argument. Like I've said when I started my channel, I think I said it on PYTE, these people don't know how to live in peace. Okay, they always have to defend. Meanwhile, people just want to live their life peacefully and have fun. But these people, they like to create problem and then to defend. Nobody have time for all this nonsense. Okay, let's read what's there, and then that's it. Lacey was on a discussion program. It may have been the Daily Mail Online, where he said he spoke to a friend of William's, and the friend told him the argument was very, very heated. William went may have come close to blows. I won't be surprised. Their friend seemingly didn't tell everything. I wish I could find it. Okay, who does it serve to make both brothers look unhinged? Oh, hi, Chuck and Camilla. Okay, seems a lot of Harry's story is already in the public domain, yet the press act like it's a bombshell they never heard of. Exactly. Carol E. and Kemp Middleton were pushing the linchpin narrative hard at that time. Okay, said they were brought together by the peacemaker extraordinaire. I know. So my guess is her and Camilla Charles. No, I think they were trying to say it's what's the other one? The in-law, the sister-in-law, was trying to be the peacemaker. I remember seeing a picture where they were walking after some sort of a service of Prince Philip. They claimed that she was the one who's doing the peacemaker. All right, they leak it to make Harry their whipping post, the bad guy. Okay, to garner positive publicity for themselves, even though through inference they say Harry is the problem, to further alienate the UK that once adored him. I don't know. I do not know. These people live in a fantasy world. Okay, everything is performative. Meanwhile, the people in the UK are suffering. Okay, next tweet. All right, Prince Harry's spare Trans World Book reigned at the top of the UK official top 50 for a second week, selling 82,538 copies for its first full week on the shelves. Read this week's chart analysis. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Okay, as it should. Congratulations. Okay, not surprised. UK always show up for the Sussexes despite the smear propaganda and fake polls. The United Kingdom in general will always have Harry's back. Cry about it. And this is why Harry's always differentiate. Okay, when they claim that Harry hate the UK and all of that, or they try to claim that Harry is saying that the UK is racist or whatever, but Harry always make the differentiation. It's not the UK who's racist, it's the British media that is racist. Harry always make that very firmly, the differentiation, who's who on that department. Okay, let's see here. Amazing. Most books don't get that in their first week. Is that for print only or all format? Let's see here. This is, you could look at this. All right, Spare by Prince Harry is the UK fastest selling memoir since records began. Okay, this is the amount. Okay, so this is in the UK. I have something similar to that where they compare it with, there's Obama right there. So Obama's way down there. So there was one similar to that, and Obama was like the second one. Okay, so I shared it in one of my videos, so forget about that. This is different. Okay, let's read what's there and then move on. Congratulations, Prince Harry, proving again that the British tabloid are liars and trying to drag him down. Okay, how about the USA numbers? Seems like a lot of people are buying Spare across the pond. There's this here. Let's see that one. Okay, it's coming to the USA. Hope y'all didn't send too many copies. You might as well promote it to Irish Trader too while you are at it. Hey America and Ireland, buy Spare. Alright, so that's that. Alright, let's read the last one here. It should be prescribed reading for everyone. Amazing book with lots of candor. I read it and it is an excellent memoir. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, 37 minutes. There was a tweet that I came across. I think it was a doctor, psychologist or something. And, you know, the troll were calling her out. And she said something like, it's something that everybody should read. And the troll came after that particular doctor and said, do you have credential to claim what you said? And the doctor came back out and said she's whatever, she got her degree from Harvard something, and then she said if you want to read more about it, and she put a link. Yep, that was that, and one of the squad retweeted it. I don't know where. I think I liked it, but I didn't bookmark it. Next tweet. Okay, we dove head first into Prince Harry's debut book Spare, from the writing and what stood out to us to some of the most delicious pieces of royal gossip. What did you think of the book? Any of his stories resonate with you? Okay, there's this for our full convo. Okay, I'm just gonna go over that. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds. I don't know where this is. Is it in the UK or in the US? Let's see.
For me, what really stood out is just how broken the relationship with William is. It really made me sad. I for the first time thought it's almost going to be irreparable. I mean, it is so broken between the two of them that I feel like that brotherhood, whatever in our minds, that fantasy that we thought they could come back together after the Queen's passing, it ain't happening. It's just when you read it, you realize it's done. There's been some really bad blood sent both ways.
The thing is that we could understand Harry to keep his distance from his brother, because when you look at things that happen, forget the book, things that we know already, because Harry left a lot out. Okay, you could see through pictures the way William's been somewhat jealous of Harry since a kid. And then the main thing I think that really crushed Harry is the lawsuit that Meghan was trying to win, and then for him to send his mouthpiece to try to undermine Meghan's case. Okay, and to add to that, which was before the lawsuit, and there's a possibility he sent his people to prevent, okay, to smear Meghan's name. Okay, and thank God, no one ever hear a negative thing about Meghan. And this is what really saved Meghan through this horrible campaign that they put out on her. Thank God for that. Because if she had done at least one thing, it only takes one negative thing for these people to carry it out. Okay, and magnifying it throughout the world. It's not just one place, it's throughout the world. Can you imagine that? Jeez. But let's continue listen. But the thing that really break the relationship between Harry and William, it's the lawsuit, I think, in my humble opinion. And many small little things add up to it.
I think generally speaking, regardless of how you feel about it, whether you're on team like Harry and Meghan or whether you're on team royal family, what I really love about this is that there is now an alternative narrative. You know, my father always says history was written by those who won. And when you look at all the history books in our schools, you don't get the other side. You don't get the indigenous textbook. You don't get all the...
That's, wow. She doesn't have any accent, so this must be in the US, or at least I don't hear the accent. Yeah, I agree with her.
Conquered people. And quite frankly, this is the lineage of the family that has conquered many corners, if not every corner of this world. And they get to write all the textbooks because they're the winners. And here's what Harry's narrative, whether you believe him or not, doesn't matter. There is now in the annals of the history books going to be an alternative narrative.
Wow. I agree with her. I agree with her. And I did said this before. Not knowing he was going to write a book, is that I was like, oh my God, they need to write their own stories. Even if they're afraid to put it out there, but leave it in the hand of some lawyers or whatever. But little did I know, they went out and do it. And Meghan needs to write her own as well, because they were really saying some nonsense about her. Okay, I watched the video, and the woman who mentioned fact-checking should review the debunked errors. Harry made a point to say his memoir of some parts of the past may be off, and some things are what he was told, but the people interviewed by the tabloid said the press lied to them. Okay, what is that? I have written to the press in the comments. I am raging. Okay, that's that soldier, the vet who spoke to the UK tabloid, and then they show him the wrong part of the book, and then he commented on it, and then they went on and whatever they write whatever they wanted, and when he tried to reach them for them to correct it, they don't even want to hear him. They even blocked him from commenting on their post. Alright, I have written to the press in the comments. I am raging. Please pardon the typo. It should read complex PTSD, not complete. They have now blocked my comment too. Alright, I read this in one of the videos and it's too small. There's no way I will read that. Okay, history is written by those who win. The tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter until the lion learns to speak. Okay, you are right about getting the other side. The press and the palace are giving their side every day. Harry absolutely should have done this book. The press has been telling his life story for 38 years, and it's about time he got his story out. Okay, right on, sister. It is high time that the Welleses were unmasked as the obstreperous, sabotaging, bigoted bulls that they truly are. High time too that the non-British tabloid began cautious scrutinizing the Welleses and their not so perfect arrangement. Right on, spare. There's that. There's the heart. That is the annals of history. There is an alternative narrative. Harry has, quote, right of reply, end quote. There are 42 books about him, countless articles by strangers. He has every right to tell his own story in his own words, doing it for Meg, Archie, Lily, and of course, Diana. Yeah, and the thing is that he's been taking so much throughout his life. He's been taking so much, and he absorbed, and now he finally said, enough is enough. Okay, let's see here. Then I asked for calm from the British tabloid, once as a boyfriend, once as a husband, and once as a father. Now, quote, my family have been briefing the press solidly for well over a decade. So I'm sorry that me owning my story and being able to tell my own story is upsetting to some people. Okay, my story. I didn't read that article. If I come across it, maybe I'll buy it. The people who tweets fill with hate and abuse and ask themselves why they hate someone they've never met. What is they triggering in you? This was Harry's truth. What the media and the dozen of books written about him by people who don't know him is not his story. And the thing is that the tabloid in the UK have so ingrained in the UK people where no one ever stood up to say, wait a second, stop, they're not telling you the truth, or you should have your own mind to think differently. But now the world, especially America seems like to be a symbol of where people will follow. But when America speak, a lot of people seem to take attention. Okay, and this is why so many other countries hate America. So now America is talking and seeing things and saying things for what it is. Hopefully, I don't know, this will stop in a way. Okay, William is too jealous, envious, resentful of Harry to be a good brother to him. Good that Harry left. He will really let Harry have it when he is king. Let's see here. She gives a unique perspective, which I think is quite valid. I give Harry props for standing up to the royal family, and I don't think he did it out of spite. I think he did it because he was mistreated. Quote, we don't have the money for you to marry her, end quote, etc. for years, and he wasn't going. That's two. Okay, what is that? Maybe it continue. Okay, I'm nearly done reading. The book is well done. It's fascinating to hear his perception on the event that we merely saw photographed and breathlessly analyzed by royal expert. I like how he acknowledged memory lapse or imperfect recollection. I feel for Harry and Meghan. Okay, brilliant insight. I've read the book and haven't stopped thinking ever since about how it is such a historical precedent and landmark for the British royal family. No matter how people feel about it, spare by Prince Harry, spare. Okay, wonderful points. History tells the story from the conqueror's perspective. It is nice to hear both sides. But the thing is that what Harry just did with the not only the docu-series on Netflix and the Spare is just that he changed the narrative that the royal family or the institution was going with. So Harry interrupt that. They were going, meaning that the royal family, you know, that perfection that they are, everybody else is crazy, they all perfect, but anyone who talk against them, all of a sudden, they no good. Okay, so Harry just interrupt that particular narrative that the royal family was going with. Okay, he left, and then he write his book, and it seems like it's almost like the Oprah interview. Certain things that were being said on the tabloid, they responded to, but with Harry's memoir is different part that the tabloid have wrote about him, and more things we weren't aware of. We didn't know he was circumcised, but he went deeper than that. But there are different little moment in the book, thing that he said in the book, we could compare it with what was said on the tabloid. Like, for instance, we didn't know both of them had a different best man for their wedding. Okay, and I even said it in one of my videos before I even finished listening to the book. And I'm like, if they were feeling this way, why did he have William or vice versa as their best man? So we got to hear from his point of view. So if the royal family feel like he's lying, hey, there's the court, or they could write their own book. All right, so far we haven't heard anything except for the mouthpieces who saying their nonsense as usual. All right, so pretty much Harry have disrupt, okay, the narrative that the royal family was putting out there. Okay, so that's that. Okay, next week, look, and that should give people some perspective of how Princess Diana was treated, because from get-go they keep on saying she's crazy, she's that, and then you have this one of the son, which is William, come out and saying she's crazy and all of that. So the narrative was already written. Okay, and they started with Harry as well once they saw Harry was not following in line. Okay, but Harry said, nope, I'm not gonna continue this nonsense, especially when they start going after his wife.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
Go,